Imagine waking up every day without the constant stress of money hanging over your head. What if you could stop living paycheck to paycheck and start living with true financial freedom? It might sound impossible, but Your Money or Your Life shows you exactly how to make this dream a reality. Curious? Let's dive into how you can take control of your money and your life. Now, before you start listening to this summary, you should know about the book first. This book, Your Money or Your Life, challenges traditional views on money and helps readers create a healthier relationship with their finances. The book focuses on financial independence and achieving a life aligned with your values. It encourages reflecting on whether your spending brings happiness or keeps you trapped in a cycle of work and consumption. With practical exercises, it teaches how to track spending, eliminate unnecessary expenses, and invest time and money in what truly matters. Ultimately, it's about reclaiming control over your time, energy, and money for a more fulfilling life. Chapter 1, The Money Trap, the Old Roadmap for Money, dives into the frustrating cycle many of us find ourselves in when it comes to money. It's that never-ending loop of working hard, earning money, spending it all or more, and feeling like it's never enough. The authors call this the money trap, and they explain how our culture plays a big role in keeping us stuck there. From a young age, we're conditioned to believe that money equals happiness and that success is all about having more. More stuff, more status, more everything. But as we chase this idea of more, we often end up feeling drained, stressed, and unfulfilled. The authors ask us to stop and think. Is all this spending and striving actually making us happy? Spoiler alert, it's probably not. They also point out how money is tied to our emotions. For many of us, it's a source of anxiety or even fear, especially if we're living paycheck to paycheck or drowning in debt. This chapter challenges us to break away from the old way of thinking about money and start seeing it differently. Instead of letting it control us, we can take charge and use money to support what truly matters in our lives. The big idea here is to shift the goal from making more money to achieving financial independence. What does that mean? It's about having enough money to live your life on your terms, without constantly worrying about bills or chasing after the next paycheck. The chapter encourages you to start questioning your current habits and societal expectations, and to imagine a life where money serves you, not the other way around. It's like hitting pause and asking yourself, what am I really working for? This sets the stage for the rest of the book, where you'll learn how to create a healthier, more intentional relationship with money. Lessons learned from Chapter 1. Money represents your life energy, the time and effort exchanged for it. Traditional views trap people in cycles of endless earning and spending. True wealth is living a life that aligns with your values, not just accumulating money. Start by tracking every penny to understand your spending habits. Awareness of where your money goes helps you make intentional choices. Redefine what enough means for you, rather than following societal expectations. Financial independence begins with being honest about your situation and aligning spending with your life goals. Chapter 2. Money Ain't What It Used to Be, and It Never Was, takes a closer look at the history and meaning of money, showing how its role has changed over time. It starts by explaining that money was originally just a simple tool to make trade and exchange easier. Over the years, though, it's become much more than that, something we now associate with power, success, and even our self-worth. This shift has caused many of us to see money as an end goal rather than a means to create a fulfilling life. The chapter dives into how inflation has slowly chipped away at the value of money. Things keep getting more expensive, and that forces us to work harder just to maintain the same lifestyle. At the same time, advertising and consumer culture have made us feel like we need to spend more and own more to be happy, which often leaves us feeling trapped in a cycle of earning and spending. Debt is another big issue explored here. With the rise of credit systems, debt has become a normal part of life for many people. But what it really does is steal away our future time and energy, leaving us stuck paying for things we've already bought. The authors challenge us to think about how our views on money have been shaped by culture, history, and personal experiences. They want us to see money for what it truly is, a tool, not a measure of our worth. By understanding how money's meaning has changed over time, we can start to break free from the unhealthy patterns that keep us stressed and unfulfilled. Lessons learned from Chapter 2: Money isn't what it used to be, and it's not the key to happiness. Happiness increases with money only to a certain point. Beyond that, more money doesn't lead to more satisfaction. The fulfillment curve shows that essential spending brings happiness, but excess leads to stress. Cultural pressures push the belief that more money equals more happiness. Enough is personal and varies by individual, based on needs and values. Defining enough helps you break free from the constant desire for more. Achieving contentment is key to long-term happiness and financial freedom. Chapter 3: Where is it all going? Centers on the importance of tracking your spending to better understand where your money is going. The key idea is to create awareness around your spending habits and identify areas where money might be leaking unnecessarily. By paying attention to every expense, you begin to see the bigger picture of how money flows through your life. One important concept introduced in this chapter is the connection between money and life energy. Every dollar you spend represents a portion of your life energy, which is the time and effort you've exchanged to earn that money. The authors stress the importance of spending your money in ways that align with your values and what truly matters to you. This helps ensure that your financial choices reflect your priorities rather than just unconscious habits. The chapter suggests tracking all your expenses, no matter how small, for at least a month. By doing this, you uncover spending patterns that you may not have been aware of, including unconscious spending. Categorizing your expenses can further highlight where most of your money is going, such as on housing, transportation, entertainment, or dining out. This categorization helps you identify areas where you could potentially cut back or make more intentional choices. The authors introduce the concept of money leaks, which are small, recurring expenses that add up over time. These could be things like subscriptions or impulse purchases that don't truly add value to your life. Reflecting on whether each expense brings you closer to your life goals is a helpful way to determine whether it aligns with what you truly care about or if it's just wasteful spending. They also encourage you to examine how each expense makes you feel. Did it bring joy, regret, or indifference? Understanding the emotional impact of your spending can reveal purchases that aren't contributing to your overall happiness or fulfillment. Ultimately, this chapter highlights that tracking your expenses isn't about judgment, but about gaining clarity. This awareness is the first step in taking control of your finances and living more intentionally. Lessons learned from Chapter 3. Track every penny you spend to understand where your money is going. Every dollar represents life energy, so spend consciously. Write down all expenses to become aware of unconscious spending habits. Categorize your expenses to see where your money is going, e.g., housing, transportation. Identify money leaks, small, unnecessary purchases that add up over time. Reflect on whether each expense aligns with your values or brings you closer to your goals. Tracking spending helps create financial clarity and is the first step toward controlling your finances. Chapter 4. How much is enough? The quest for happiness asks a fundamental question. How much money do you really need to live a fulfilling and happy life? The authors challenge the common belief that more money always leads to more happiness. While money can increase happiness, they argue that this increase is only true up to a certain point. After reaching a basic level of comfort, additional money has diminishing returns and does not lead to greater satisfaction. In fact, beyond a certain threshold, more money can even create stress and dissatisfaction. The chapter introduces the concept of the fulfillment curve, which illustrates the relationship between spending and happiness. When you spend money on essentials or meaningful items, it can lead to an increase in happiness. However, after a certain point, more spending provides little added value and can even cause financial strain. This curve highlights that happiness doesn't keep growing as you spend more. The authors also explore the cultural pressures that drive people to believe they need more money to be happy. Society, through advertising and social comparisons, creates an illusion of never enough, pushing individuals into a cycle of overconsumption. To break free from this, the authors suggest defining enough for yourself. Enough means having what you need to live comfortably and fulfill your values without overindulging in unnecessary excess. It's personal and different for everyone. The chapter encourages readers to reflect on their true needs and values. By reassessing what really matters, you can start spending in a way that aligns with your deeper goals and reduces excess. Being content with enough is framed as a sustainable choice that not only enhances personal well-being, but also benefits the planet by reducing waste. Ultimately, defining enough allows you to live more intentionally, gaining control over your money, time, and energy to create a life that truly fulfills you. Lessons learned from Chapter 4. The chapter challenges the idea that more money automatically leads to more happiness. Happiness increases with money up to a point, beyond which more money has diminishing returns. Spending on essentials and meaningful items boosts happiness, but excess spending can cause stress and dissatisfaction. Enough is personal and means having what you need to live comfortably without excess. The pursuit of more money often leads to stress, not fulfillment. Reassess your priorities to define enough based on what truly brings joy and aligns with your values. Contentment with enough promotes long-term happiness. Chapter 5, Getting It Out in the Open, focuses on the importance of becoming aware of your finances and taking control of your financial situation. The authors stress the significance of facing your financial reality head-on. This means honestly assessing your income, expenses, debts, and savings. By doing so, you gain a clear understanding of where you stand financially and can begin making changes. One of the key concepts in this chapter is the power of tracking your spending. The authors suggest that you track every penny you spend to become more aware of your financial habits. This isn't just about sticking to a budget, it's about noticing patterns and understanding where your money is going. When you track your spending, you start to realize how small, seemingly insignificant purchases can add up and impact your overall financial picture. Once you have tracked your spending, the next step is to create a detailed spending plan. This plan should be based on your values and goals, rather than societal pressures or impulsive purchases. The authors emphasize that this plan should reflect what truly matters to you, helping you align your finances with your long-term vision. Awareness plays a key role in improving your financial life. By understanding your spending habits, you can break free from automatic, unconscious spending patterns. This mindfulness empowers you to make intentional and satisfying financial decisions that align with your values. The chapter also touches on emotional spending, highlighting that many people spend out of habit or in response to stress or emotions. By becoming aware of this, you can start to control these habits and choose more thoughtful ways to manage your money. Finally, the authors discuss the importance of transparency in relationships. Financial matters often affect partnerships, and being open with your loved ones about money can help build trust and ensure everyone is aligned with shared financial goals. The chapter encourages practical exercises like tracking your expenses for a month to help you build the foundation for a more conscious and intentional financial life. Lessons learned from Chapter 5. Face your financial situation openly by examining your income, expenses, debts, and savings. Tracking every penny spent brings awareness of where money goes and its impact on your life. Create a spending plan based on your values and goals, not societal pressures. Emotional spending is common. Identify patterns and take control of them. Transparency with partners or family about money helps build trust and aligns goals. Chapter 6, The American Dream on a Shoestring, challenges the traditional idea of the American dream, showing how it can often lead to financial stress rather than happiness. The chapter starts by highlighting how the American dream has been sold as a vision of success through owning a home, having a good job, and collecting material possessions. However, the authors point out that many people pursue this dream by stretching their finances too thin. They borrow and spend more than they can afford, leading to debt and anxiety. A central theme in this chapter is the difference between wants and needs. The authors emphasize how we often confuse things we want with things we truly need. This confusion leads to overspending, as we buy things just to keep up with societal expectations or desires without really considering whether they bring us lasting happiness. The chapter explains how societal pressures, like the desire to keep up with others, can push people into spending more than they can afford. The idea of keeping up with the Joneses creates a cycle of financial strain as people try to appear successful by acquiring new cars, bigger homes, and fancier vacations. The authors encourage readers to reevaluate their priorities and think about what really brings happiness. True fulfillment, they argue, doesn't come from owning more things, but from living a life aligned with your values. Many people work long hours to afford these material possessions, which leads to burnout and less time for meaningful experiences. Instead of chasing the conventional American dream, the chapter suggests embracing a simpler lifestyle that doesn't rely on constant consumption, allowing for a more fulfilling and financially stable life. Lessons learned from Chapter 6. The chapter explores how the American dream often leads to a cycle of overspending and debt. The constant pursuit of more money to keep up can be draining and unsustainable. You don't need to keep up with societal expectations to find happiness or fulfillment. The authors emphasize the importance of living within your means, focusing on values rather than consumerism. True financial freedom comes from reassessing your goals and desires, stepping away from the pressures of conventional success. The chapter encourages creating a sustainable lifestyle by reducing expenses and prioritizing meaningful spending. Chapter 7, For Love or Money, Valuing Your Life Energy, Work, and Income, dives into a powerful concept called life energy. The authors explain that when you work, you're not just earning money, you're trading your time, energy, and life. They ask you to think about how much of your life you're giving up in exchange for that paycheck, which is often something we don't consider in our day-to-day lives. One of the central ideas in this chapter is that time equals money. The time you spend working is directly tied to the amount of money you earn, but it's also an exchange of your life. The authors encourage you to really think about how much time you're dedicating to your job and whether it's truly worth the compensation you're receiving. They point out that when you factor in commuting, stress, and emotional energy, the cost of working is far greater than what's immediately visible in your paycheck. The chapter also distinguishes between work done for love versus work done for money. It's important to identify whether your job brings you joy and purpose or if it's just a means to make ends meet. Many people end up stuck in jobs that drain them physically and emotionally, simply to maintain a lifestyle, without considering if they're living in alignment with their true values and passions. The authors encourage readers to track how much time they spend working, commuting, and dealing with the stress of their job. By doing this, you'll get a clearer picture of how much of your life is being consumed by work. They also suggest critically evaluating your income sources. Is the money worth the sacrifice of your time and energy, or could there be alternative ways to earn that better align with your life's goals? In the end, the chapter invites readers to reconsider how they approach work and income. It challenges you to align your work with your values, ensuring that the life energy you invest into earning money serves a higher purpose, rather than just keeping up with societal expectations or financial pressures. Lessons learned from Chapter 7. The chapter focuses on valuing your life energy, which is the time and effort exchanged for money. Work and income should align with your values, not just financial needs. Many people sacrifice happiness for income, not realizing it takes away from life satisfaction. Assess how much you're earning relative to the time and energy spent. The authors encourage seeking work that provides meaning and fulfillment, not just a paycheck. Reevaluate how much money is enough for you, ensuring it supports your goals rather than draining your life energy. Financial freedom comes from making conscious choices in work and income. Chapter 8, Catching Fire. The crossover point focuses on an important concept known as the crossover point. This is the moment when your passive income, which comes from investments or savings, becomes enough to cover your basic living expenses. Essentially, it's the point where you no longer need to work for money because your money is working for you. The chapter highlights how, traditionally, people rely on active income from jobs or businesses to pay for their living expenses. However, the authors stress that it's possible and desirable to shift towards earning passive income. This could be through investments that provide steady returns or by saving enough money so that the interest or dividends cover your daily expenses. The ultimate goal is to stop trading time for money and allow your wealth to grow without constant effort. Reaching the crossover point is referred to as catching fire because once you get to this stage, your financial situation starts to grow and sustain itself. It's like a snowball effect, where once your savings and investments start to generate enough income, they can support your lifestyle, freeing you from the need to earn money through traditional work. The chapter encourages readers to track their progress toward this goal by understanding their income, expenses, and savings habits. This allows you to see how close you are to financial independence. The authors explain that when you reach the crossover point, you gain a tremendous sense of freedom. You no longer have to worry about working just to meet your financial needs. You can focus on things that bring you joy or explore other passions. Reaching this point also has a profound emotional impact. It empowers you to step away from the traditional work model and live a life with more control over your time and resources. The chapter is ultimately about the power of financial independence and how it can transform your life. Lessons learned from Chapter 8. The chapter introduces the idea of a crossover point, where income from investments surpasses work income. Reaching this point is the key to financial freedom and independence. It emphasizes the importance of saving, investing, and reducing expenses to build long-term wealth. The authors stress the power of compounding and its role in achieving financial freedom. Living intentionally and prioritizing goals allows you to move toward the crossover point faster. They highlight the need for patience and discipline in the journey toward financial independence. Achieving this point leads to more freedom and control over life. Chapter 9. Where to Stash Your Cash for Long-Term Financial Freedom offers valuable insights on how to manage your money for lasting financial freedom. The authors begin by explaining that simply saving money in a traditional savings account isn't enough. While it's important to save, you need to put your money in places where it can grow over time, such as investments in stocks, bonds, and real estate. These types of investments generally offer higher returns than basic savings accounts and can significantly build wealth in the long run. A key piece of advice in this chapter is the importance of diversification. Instead of putting all your money into one type of investment, it's better to spread it across different areas, such as stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. This reduces risk and helps protect your investments in case one type doesn't perform well. Diversifying your portfolio ensures that your money is working in various ways, increasing the chance that you'll see consistent growth over time. The authors also stress the importance of thinking long-term. They caution against trying to make quick profits from high-risk investments. Instead, they recommend focusing on investments that will grow steadily over time. Low-cost index funds are one example of a stable, low-risk investment option that can be part of a well-balanced portfolio. Before diving into long-term investments, the book advises setting aside an emergency fund. This fund should be easy to access and should cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This safety net gives you peace of mind, allowing you to focus on your long-term wealth building without worrying about sudden financial setbacks. The chapter also emphasizes minimizing fees and taxes on your investments, as high fees can quickly eat into your profits. It also explains the power of compound interest, which allows your money to grow exponentially over time, particularly when invested early. Finally, the authors recommend continuously educating yourself on personal finance to make informed decisions that align with your financial goals. Lessons learned from Chapter 9. The chapter focuses on how to invest money for long-term financial freedom. The authors recommend low-risk, low-cost investments like index funds to grow wealth over time. It's important to focus on the long term and avoid high-risk investments that could jeopardize financial stability. They emphasize saving and investing consistently, even with small amounts, to take advantage of compound growth. Diversification is key to reducing risk and ensuring financial security. The chapter also highlights the importance of educating yourself about investment options to make informed decisions. Building wealth requires patience, discipline, and smart choices. This is the end of the book, and congratulations on making it all the way through. It's clear that you're serious about understanding money and taking control of your financial freedom. If you found this audiobook valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more thought-provoking content. Let me know in the comments which part resonated with you the most, and stay tuned for more audiobooks designed to inspire and empower you. See you in the next one.